Hi, George here. Let's talk about the new Minecraft Sniffer. That is a new passive mob that's going to be coming in Minecraft 120. We don't know a whole lot about the Sniffer yet, but we know a few things and we can test a few things out. Right now we know that the Minecraft Sniffer is a passive mob, and what it does is it wanders around, kind of smelling and sniffing. Occasionally it will sniff into the ground and sniff out a torchflower seed, which it will then dig out with its head and toss it out onto the ground. You can then go ahead and collect that torchflower seed and plant that to get torchflowers. The Minecraft Sniffer was the 2022 mob vote winner, taking over half of the votes, so won by a large number, and it's just beginning to show up in the previews for 120. Now, we don't know a whole lot about the Sniffer yet. We do know basically how it behaves. We've been told by Mojang that the Sniffer is an ancient mob that hatches from Sniffer eggs, and that you can find those Sniffer eggs underwater. At this point, if you want to get a Sniffer, all you can do is to go into creative mode and then get a Sniffer spawn egg and spawn it that way, in which case you get an adult Sniffer. Once the final version of the Sniffer comes out, you'll have to go hunting for those Sniffer eggs, bring those eggs back to wherever you have to hatch them. There's going to be some special routine or method to hatch those Sniffer eggs, and they will then hatch out a young Sniffer, which is called a Snifflet. They're about half the size of a full-grown Sniffer. And the basic behavior of that Sniffer is just to kind of wander around. They're rather slow, and they wander around on all sixes because they have 6 legs, kind of an interesting little feature there. And they'll sniff everything. They will come up to you and sniff you too. I don't really know why they do that, but dogs sniff you, so why not Sniffers? And then just kind of wander around aimlessly, looking for those torchflower seeds, which they occasionally find. Now, in my testing on this, it takes about 5 minutes or so between each time that they find. So realistically, we're looking at the Sniffers finding maybe 1 torchflower seed each day in Minecraft. So if you want to find a lot of torchflower seeds, you need to have a bunch of Sniffers. Once you begin finding those, you can breed more Sniffers, but you're going to need to have 2 Sniffers to begin with. So in creative mode, of course, just use spawn eggs and get 2 Sniffers, which is what I did here. But in the future, you'll have to find 2 of those Sniffer eggs to breed your 2 Sniffers. And there's a problem with breeding Sniffers. They don't pay any attention to the torchflower seeds if you're holding them. Unlike other mobs that will fall if you hold wheat seeds, you will get followed by chickens. You can then use those wheat seeds to spawn the chickens. Not the same thing here with the torchflower seeds and the Sniffer. They ignore that if you are holding that seed. They just don't care. They want to find ones that are underground. So you need to get 2 of these Sniffers next to each other, and I found out right next to each other. And the only way to do that is to take a lead, attach that lead to one of the Sniffers, and literally drag that Sniffer over to the other Sniffer. They move pretty slow, so the other one's not going to go anywhere in any great hurry. Once you get them next to each other, you can then use 2 torchflower seeds, 1 on each Sniffer, to get them interested in mating, and then you'll get a baby Snifflet pretty quickly out of that. When you do breed Sniffers, you'll have a chance for getting 1 to 7 experience points for that, XP points. So that's a nice little thing, but that's, like breeding any other mob, really. And once you have a new Sniffer, you can then begin to expand your number of Sniffers. The same basic idea of growing up a sheep farm or growing up a cow farm. It'll just take a while at the beginning to get enough of these going. Now, there's not a whole lot of reason why you want to have a lot of these Sniffers. All they can do for you right now is to give you those torchflower seeds, which you can use to raise or grow torchflowers. Torchflowers are very pretty, but they're really just decorative. They don't do anything. They're not a food source. You can't make anything out of them. They're just a decorative item. Hopefully they'll add more to this later on. But right now, it's kind of a limited thing. You get the Sniffers, they give you the torchflower seeds, you plant them for torchflowers, and you're done. That's it. That's as far as it goes. And after you breed 2 Sniffers together, it takes them about 5 minutes or so to cool down before you can do it again. So again, realistically speaking, you can breed them about once a Minecraft day. Now with those torchflowers, they're kind of interesting. First off, the seeds you can use to breed your Sniffers. You also can use the torchflower seeds to breed chickens if you want to, or you can use the torchflower seeds to tame a parrot. When you plant a torchflower, it goes through 3 stages. There's the basic, just a little bush stage. It then grows halfway up, second stage, and then full stage. It has a full bloom on top, which is very brightly colored and very pretty. But again, you're a little bit limited here, at least at the moment. If you take a fully grown torchflower plant, you're not going to be getting any seeds with that. You're just going to be getting just the plant. So you can pick it up and put it someplace else, but that's all you can do with it. You still have to have the Sniffers to find the seeds to get more of these torchflowers. Planting a torchflower is just like planting any other basic seed. You'll need to till the ground. Just grab your hoe and till the ground. Any standard farmland type dirt will work. So any place where you could plant wheat seeds, you can also plant these torchflowers. They don't have to be near water. They behave very much like wheat seeds in that sense. Once you have your torch flowers, you can use them in any decorative manner that you want to. They work inside of flower pots. They look really nice in planters. I found if you put them into a flower pot, they're a little darker, a little duller than they are not in a flower pot. So they may fix that in the future. I hope they fix that before 120 comes out. If they don't, then these are better used inside of flower beds as opposed to putting into flower pots. But the torch flowers are just decorative. You can't grow these into anything else. If you want to plant your torch flower seeds and speed things up, you can use bone meal on them. They will go through their 3 stages of growth very quickly with bone meal. But again, you get to that final stage, and that's as far as it goes. So hopefully Mojang has some ideas to take the sniffer further, and it's not just going to be just a basic mod that doesn't do a whole lot of good for you. Right now you can't eat sniffers. You don't get any sniffer leather from them. There's not a whole lot to them once they're here. My guess is that they will plan on having them sniff out other things in the future, so they'll be more useful later on to help find other treasures around the world. We'll have to see how that goes once the final release gets here. But for right now, we're stuck with just playing with these in creative mode. Of course, you can get your spawn eggs in creative and then put these over into survival if you want to and do that. That's what I did here in this video. And they work out just fine. They interact well with the other animals, although the horses don't really seem to like them that much. I saw a couple of horses pushing one in here as I was testing this out. I'm not sure if that's an actual behavior or if it's just an oddity of this one particular positioning of things in the game. And I wouldn't really call sniffers cute. They're kind of big and blocky. I think cows look better. But they do waggle their ears in a funny way when they're happy after finding a torchflower seed. So there you go, just a few of my thoughts on the new sniffer. It's kind of interesting, kind of fun. I think people are going to forget about it pretty quickly, though. I don't think it's going to be a real game changer. It's not doing enough yet. Again, hopefully they'll be adding more to the sniffer by the time 120 gets here. And if you had fun with this video, make sure you hit that like button, click on share, click on subscribe, and I'll see you next time.